Hey friends, welcome to a series preview. It's Neil here from Post to Post. We've got some stuff to talk about. We've already talked Toronto and Tampa. Now it's time to talk Boston, Florida. But is there even a point? Is Boston just that good that there's no sense of even properly going through this and even trying to convince myself that Florida can win this one? Is it pointless? We'd love to know your thoughts down below. How one-sided you think this series is going to be. But let's just go through the process anyway. And much like the Toronto Tampa Bay series, or that video rather, we're going to look at this from a very high level, a very broad level. Just look at some stats and then talk our way through this. So let's do that first. So bring it up on the screen. We got wins to go through first. Boston 65, Florida 42. Obviously a very big discrepancy there. Losses, only 12 losses for Boston this season. Unbelievable. Florida, we get 32. Overtime points, we got 5 for Boston and 8 for Florida. Goals for 305 for Boston, but 290 for Florida. Florida can score. Goals against, 177 goals against versus 273. That is unbelievable for Boston. So good defensively. Home record for Boston, 34-4-3 versus 23-13-5. Boston gets that win. Away, 31-8-2 for Boston, 19-19-3. Florida does not play good on the road, so that is bad news for them. And they don't have home ice advantage in this series, so that's a little bit dangerous, regardless of where Boston fell in the standings here this year. Last 10, 9-1-0 for Boston in their last 10 versus 6-3-1 for Florida, which is not bad. And current streak as we're going into the playoffs, as the season ended, Boston was on an 8-game winning streak, and Florida has lost one. Their last game they lost. So Boston wins every single category in the head-to-head here, but that was completely predictable even before I clicked on this video. I didn't need to tell you any of that for you to know that. You already knew that. So how is Florida going to win this series? I hope they do, but I don't know if they can. I don't think they can. And they don't necessarily deserve to beat the Boston Bruins, because the Boston Bruins are just an absolute monster this year, and they deserve to go straight to the Stanley Cup final because they just had an unbelievable season. And if they play the exact same way that they've been playing all year in the season, they are going to dominate the entire Eastern Division. Or the Eastern Conference rather, not division. So I think that this is I just tell you right now, I'm going to be cheering for Florida. Okay, I'm definitely cheering for Florida, but I can't see a world where Florida wins this. But we've seen crazier things. Like the Columbus Blue Jackets swept the Tampa Bay Lightning a couple of years ago. No one predicted that, okay? And that could easily happen here. And, no, it can't easily happen here. That's a very rare thing to happen. But it could happen. It couldn't easily happen, but it could happen. Not a sweep, but a defeat. But I just don't see it. The super logical thought process in my mind says there's no way that this can happen. So I have to predict Boston's going to win this series, and likely in 5 games. That's my prediction. Probably Boston in 5-ish, we'll say. I haven't done my actual bracket yet, so that video is coming. If you want to see that, make sure you hit the subscribe button. That'll be released sometime in the next 24 to 30 hours. But yeah, I'm saying Boston in 5, just based on the seasons alone, regardless of breaking down power plays and special teams and head-to-heads and line matchups and system play. And it just, there's so much you could get into. I'm just looking at this from a broad perspective with zero emotion in this. I didn't watch a lot of hockey this season, so I'm just looking at some stats. Watched probably 10 games each from each team in their last 10 games, which is some pretty good hockey leading up to the playoffs, but still just kind of keeping this very high level here. So let me know your thoughts. Who do you think is going to win this series? I suspect 95% of the comments down below will say Boston. I'm very curious for that 5% of people who are going to say Florida. If you are going to say Florida, do you genuinely believe that the Florida Panthers can win this series? And if so, that's amazing. I love that, so good on you. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Another video coming very soon. 6 more series previews to do after this video, so we'd love to have you on board. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. We'll talk to you then. Adios.